Music brought to you by bensound.com. Welcome to Knicks Home Court with your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is Knicks Home Court, episode number 26. The Knicks have been playing well lately. Russell Westbrook is killing them. And we're going to evaluate the first 20 games of the season. We're not going to talk about every game, but we're going to evaluate the 20 games and going forward what I think the Knicks are going to do. And that's coming up on Knicks Home Court. All right, let's jump right into the Knicks news. The Knicks news of the week is brought to you by good Knicks basketball. All right, so the Knicks news of the week is basically just how they've been playing. Let me take care of the news first. Courtney Lee is a little hurt. He's missed a few games. We need to get him back. Justin Holiday has filled in adequately. So has Vujacic. I always get his name messed up. They're filling in, and we got Lance Thomas back. A lot of people, some Knicks fans, are like, "Oh, Lance Thomas." Listen, Lance Thomas is good. He's an NBA pro, and the more pros you have on your team, the better. We've been playing good basketball, but this is something I wanted to address, and I'm going to address it in this Knicks news segment. A lot of people today on Twitter, I saw a trade for Noah coming from Minnesota. Though Minnesota was saying something like that, right? And I don't want to trade Joakim Noah. It's amazing when I hear Knicks fans say that he can't score, when their main complaint about Melo was that all he wants to do is score. Look, some players play a role. Joakim Noah plays a role. He's a defensive player. He's a defensive stopper. And he helps the offense flow. Yes, he does that. Now, his free throws is terrible. He needs to fix that. I don't know what's going on with him mentally, but he needs to take care of that. But you got to understand something in the NBA. You don't win games. Or better yet, let me put it this way. You win games with talent. And the more talent you have on your team, the better. If Joakim Noah becomes a role player on this team, that means the Knicks are a really good team. Jennings can come off the bench. That's because DRose is in front of him. People don't understand, to have a good team, you need really good players. It needs to be layered. It can't just be the first five. Like, once a player... I hear people even said mentioning trading Carmelo because Porzingis is playing good. And I'm like, why would you trade a star away and make it Porzingis' team? Where y'all getting this ideology from? So, Kevin Durant went to Golden State, and they had Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Why would you even trade? First of all, you're not getting nothing but role players for Melo right now. Or draft. It just doesn't make any sense. See, what I'm seeing now that I'm looking at this team playing better and developing, what I'm noticing is Phil Jackson. I got to give him credit on this. The way he's put together this roster, what I really like about this roster is that, first of all, this should be a winning team. Like I said, 45 to 50 win team this year. This should be. And it should be at least a second round team. I see that because I see battle tested players on this team, as long as they're healthy. Now, the good thing about that is if you really look at the Knicks, they have a young nucleus coming off the bench. Porzingis is better than them, so he plays with the grown-ups. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it, we got Kuzminskis, we got Hernan Gomez, we got Justin Holiday, all coming off the bench. That could be a future nucleus for the Knicks. And they're going to be playing in big games, important games, so they don't shrink from the moment. And it reminds me of the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs is a winning culture. You take a player like Danny Green, who was on a scrap heap, you put him in the Spurs culture, and he learns how to win under pressure. He learns how to shoot under pressure because that's all he's dealt with when he went to the Spurs. And if he doesn't make shots, the teammates can pick him up because they had a great team. So when you have a young player come into the league and he goes into a winning organization, or maybe after a year or two, the team, and when team starts to win and he's only used to winning, this is a good thing. You really mess up players and they develop bad habits when they go into losing situations. So please, all of y'all dummies who think it's best to rebuild from scratch, not every team can be Oklahoma City to have the luxury of drafting Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden and Ibaka, even though they lost damn near all of them. Most teams draft like Minnesota. And people say, oh, Minnesota's good. Yeah, but they've been out of the playoffs for what, 10 years straight? They had to rebuild on top of their rebuild. Now they got some good players and they still suck right now. And that's how hard it is in the NBA. Because young teams do not play good for long periods of time. They're not consistent. They'll have stretches of greatness, and then that's why they have some wins. Then they'll have stretches of where they're not playing as well or playing as hard on defense. And this is why what I like about the Knicks team in their mix. You have some veterans. You have some players like DRose. Let me tell you, he's like a co-leader on a team. He's like, listen, don't get caught up. We won a few games, but because this is a guy that's won 60 games, won 55, 57 games, won MVPs, went to the championship game in college. So he's a guy that's used to winning. So he's like, yo, dudes, don't get excited. We're 2 games over 500. That shit sucks. We should be angry that we're only 2 games over 500. You know, he didn't say those words verbatim, but basically that's what he's saying. And that's what you need from your veteran players. So anyway, the Knicks have been playing well. Like I said, you're going to hear the pundits start to work their way back towards the Knicks. They're going to be like, well, like this certain pundit said, well, the Knicks are doing better than what I thought they were going to do. And I'm like, really? I'm like, really? Are you really paying attention? Anyway, that's all for the Knicks news of the week. In NBA news, the Bulls suspend Rondo for 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team. What I'm hearing is that he had an argument with one of the assistant coaches or something like that. I have no idea. I'm not going to say it's the same old Rondo. Rondo's fiery, you know that. I think that the strange thing about Rondo, and I had one of him on the Knicks, what I don't like about Rondo is I don't like players that got a lot of shit to say, but your game never improved. Like Rondo, since he came in the league, he's an elite passer. He gets in the lane, he makes smart plays, but he's never improved his jump shot. Like, dude, look inside yourself, man. See what's going on with you. But I'm not even going to spend much time on Rondo. I just wanted to just put that out there. You know, he got suspended for a game. We'll see what happens with Chicago. I mean, they're playing well. They're doing better than a lot of people thought. Now, I was one of those people that thought that Chicago would be decent. The reason why, right, again, all y'all stat geeks be like, oh, they have no three-point shooters. That's true, they don't. But they have good players. Dwayne Wade is still a very good player and probably an all-star this year. Jimmy Butler is an all-star. Robin Lopez is not a bum. We didn't give him a bum. We gave them somebody decent. Robin Lopez is good. And they still got the distributor in Rondo. So what I would say is that when you put talent on the court, they're going to figure out ways to win games. I don't think they'll probably make the playoffs. They're going to be a lower seed. But I wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to face Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. You see, this is what I'm saying. Like, people don't look at the talent, man. Fuck your stats. Keep your stats. I don't care about your stats. I know when it's crunch time, skill rises to the top. Like, for example, the per 36 stat is another stupid stat, I believe. If a guy plays 15 minutes a game, he may average, I don't know, 9 points in 15 minutes. And then if they say, well, let's just say 18 minutes so I can just put it in half. Say he averages 9 points or 10 points and 5 rebounds in 18 minutes. His per 36 is going to be 20 and 10. That's bogus because it doesn't factor in for his wind, or if he gets tired. It doesn't factor into other teams' adjustment to him. It doesn't factor in that, because the more you see of a player, the more you really know of a player. So if a player is only playing 18 minutes, even though he's having good production, doesn't mean he's going to double that production with double the time. You know, like the plus minus stat. I think that's another stupid stat. You know, I mean, there's variables on the court. I mean, if you put me on the court, I don't play no basketball. If you put me on the court with Dwayne Wade, you put me on the court with the Dream Team, I'm going to have a plus. I'm going to have a plus because I'm on the court with the Dream Team. So people just need to stop that. Oh boy, Matt Barnes. Man, he's just been having it bad, man. So rumor has it that Matt Barnes had choked a woman outside of a New York City club or establishment. He's saying it's not true. I haven't heard of any arrest or anything like that. But the only thing I would say to these NBA players, look, you got money, you want to spend it, you want to have a good time. You in New York City, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You play for Sacramento. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my God, culture shock, right? You know, you see these multicultural, beautiful women. I get it. But guys, dudes, listen to me, man. If you're gonna go out to the club, bring some protection, man. I'm sure there's probably protection in every NBA city. And if not, spend a little bit of that dough. Instead of throwing singles up in the air for a woman to put it between her ass, on the G-string, spend a little money on some security. So anytime somebody gets a little too close to you, the security can step in. And if the security gets overzealous, it's on the security. It's on the security firm that you may have hired. I swear, I wish I could figure out a way to start some kind of, these guys like to party, I wish I could set up these parties. Because I set them up right. I'll interview people, there'll be no phones, everybody can come in and have a good time. But right now, the NBA players got to look, and the NFL players, baseball players, whatever, you got to look to protect yourself when you got money. There's people in the club that hate you, that just hating on you. You up there, you're tall, you know, you got all the money. Come on, man. You know how that go. I want to move on to Russell Westbrook. He is crushing the league right now. Him and James Harden is putting up numbers that you don't really see in real basketball. Like, they're putting up numbers, it looks like 2K My Career. Like, they're putting up those kind of numbers. It's really ridiculous. I gotta mention James Harden because he's putting up crazy numbers and Houston's winning. And you know, it's so funny is because I was hating on D'Antoni, but I knew deep down inside, I was like, damn, man, this is probably going to be a good team. This is probably going to work because James Harden is the perfect makeshift point guard. Instead of saying, oh, he handles the ball too much, no, just put it in his hands, let him make the decisions. And look what he's doing. I don't know how that's going to work in a playoff setting when you can isolate him against the faster guards, but right now, he's dominating the league right now, you know. But Russell Westbrook, but everybody knew Russell Westbrook was going to do this. This is not a shock or a surprise. This is not anything that no one expected. We expected Russell Westbrook to go off. We expected that. It's funny though, even though you expect it, it reminds me of like LeBron James when he came into the league. There was a whole bunch of hype, and he lived up to the hype. Even though you expected the hype, when they live up to the hype, it's like, wow. So I gotta say, Russ, man, and I'm not gonna talk about I want him on the Knicks and none of that shit. I'm just saying, Russ is the man, yo. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I enjoy watching him. He's a fireball, man. I wish him the best. It'll be, they have no chance of coming out the West. I mean, they just don't, because I feel like his sidekick isn't good enough. I just want to say that his sidekick in Oladipo has been a little exposed by how good Russell Westbrook is. Oladipo got to find his niche on his team. I think it's a playoff team. Again, another team you don't want to face. Because again, a player can get hot for a series, and Russell Westbrook is one of those guys. Then you got the same thing with Harden. You don't want to face these guys in the playoffs. You don't want to face superstars in the playoffs when they have games to rest. They have days to rest in between the games. You know, superstars find a way. You know, I mean, I watched the championship last year with Cleveland. I was like, look, if Steph Curry don't play like the MVP that he is, it's going to be a problem. Now, some people will say, oh, they lost because of Draymond. Nah, man. I don't believe in that shit. They still had a full team, and they still had 2 more games. But you don't poke the bear either. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the next topic of the week, which is basically I'm just going to evaluate the first 20 games. I don't know why I keep saying I'm going to evaluate the first 20 games. I'm not going to evaluate 20 games in the next 15 minutes. But what I am going to talk about is just their progression. If you've been looking at if you've paying attention to the Knicks from when the season started to where they are now, there has been a steady progression in all areas. Defense, playing together, Rose's play has been better. You got to understand for Rose, right? The first probably, I don't know, 5 or 6, I'll say about the first 5 games, that was preseason for Rose. So if you're thinking 20 games in, the first 5 games was preseason, then he probably needed another 5 games to get a little more used to his teammates. So that's 10 games. So these last 10 games, you've been seeing a little more vintage Derrick Rose. Same thing with Jennings. Now, Jennings had the preseason, but he's trying to find his spots because he can score. So he's trying to find his spots where he fits in and where he can score. And he did a good job of that. We want him to score the ball. We want him to look for people. We want him to score the ball. So I've been seeing a gradual improvement. I would say that Melo is Melo. See, for all y'all folks who Melo is like, let me see if I can give a good description. Melo is that great player that it appears that Knicks fans are taking for granted because we have these other good players now, so we're taking Melo for granted. But Melo is becoming a lunch pail guy. He's literally becoming a lunch pail guy, and what I mean, let me be clear, he comes to play every night. Even if he's off or on, nobody cares about winning these games more than Melo. Even if he's missing shots, Melo is here. You see, while Kristaps is going through his little tiny slump, a couple of games, he hasn't really shot well, hasn't played that good. He played good defense. Actually, I'll get on him in a second. He played good defense in this last game. But I'll tell you, the one constant is Carmelo Anthony. Derrick Rose has had some good games and some average games. The one constant has been Carmelo Anthony. He hasn't been great throughout this now. Don't get it twisted. But he's that guy that you know you can call on when you need something, at least a good shot or a shot, or, you know, things like that. Now, as far as Kristaps, I want to say that Kristaps is truly becoming a star if he isn't one already, right in front of our eyes. And the reason why I say that is I was really most impressed with yesterday's game. I don't believe in saying things like it was the best game of his career. No, I don't get into that shit. But what he showed me is something I've seen from other great players. I remember one game, I think in the finals, Kobe Bryant was just atrocious. He was shooting, he was missing everything. But he had 18 rebounds that night. I saw another game with Michael Jordan in the finals where Jordan was missing everything and I think he had like 18 rebounds. So Kristaps wasn't shooting well, but he had 14 rebounds and 4 blocks. Key blocks too at the end of the game. That's what you do when you're a great player. Melo had a bad shooting game the other day. He hit the game-winning shot and also stole the ball. That's what great players do. They do winning things. And that's how the culture's changing. You know, and I'm happy about it. I'm very happy about it. You got to understand, you got players on this team that expect to win. That's why when it's winning time, I see a different look in Derrick Rose's eyes. I don't see fear like, what should I do? He knows what to do. You know, so when I'm looking at that going forward, in the first 20 games, it was rough. There was some rough moments. But when I look going forward, look for the Knicks to make a nice. I believe that they have the opportunity in January to go on a nice winning streak, because the January schedule is kind of soft. That January schedule is soft, and I think they can win. They can have a. That's right there where they need to make their hay. Because see, people understand how the NBA season goes. Teams go on ebb and flows. Like say in January the Knicks win 8-9 games in a row. Say they get 10 games over 500. Then they go 500 for the next 15 games. 16 games, 8-8. Then the next games they're 5 games over 500. You see, that's how you end up being 20 games over 500. Like you might win 4 in a row. Like you're at 500, you win 4 in a row. You're 5 games over. Then you go 500 for the next 4 games, so you're still 4 games over. Then you win another 3-4 games. Now you're 7 games over. That's how teams build up their record, and that's how you're able to withstand slumps. So going forward, I see the Knicks are right where I thought they would be. I thought they would have a little better record than this, but I think that they're coming along. You know, you're seeing Derrick Rose getting comfortable in his skin and comfortable in New York. He's saying he want to stay. As far as in the first quarter, I'm not even talking about re-signing Derrick Rose. I won't get into that. I won't get into re-signing Derrick Rose because, I mean, right now, see, it's not important right now. But also understand the Knicks may re-sign him, because the Knicks, if they're developing that chemistry and he proves to be healthy, he's going to be worth more to us than someone else. Just remember that. He's going to be worth more money, more to us than he is to other people. And just to have the continuity, just to have them play together after switching up the team so much, to finally have the same team on the court time and time again. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. So, hold on. You know, so the next few games coming up, the Knicks have Miami, and right after that, they have Cleveland. Then they go on a West Coast trip against teams they should be able to beat. Now, in my last podcast, I mentioned that the Knicks might be able to go on a winning streak and things like that. They didn't. You know, as I stated, winning back-to-back games against Charlotte is very difficult. That's not an easy thing to do against a decent or a good team. And that's where the struggle was. Then we lost the very next game, which, again, against Oklahoma City, a game we could have won. See, but the Knicks are getting to a point which I'm looking forward to, is we're not going to, like, beating teams like Sacramento and Minnesota. I remember when the Knicks got good before. I remember when the Knicks were bad, and right in the Ewing era, they started getting better. You know what the first thing they started doing? They started beating bad teams consistently. And you have to beat bad teams consistently if you want to be a winning team, because for the most part against good teams, you're happy if you go 500. You should go at least 500 against good teams, right? And slaughter the bad teams. If you look at any good team's record against bad teams, it's probably over 90%. You have to do that. That's where you have to get your victories. You have to. Now you could beat the good teams too. You can have a winning record against the good teams. But if you want to have a winning record in the league, beat up on those bad teams. Anytime you're facing a team that you have more talent than, be professional and beat up on them. Every now and then, players have a career night. We was able to survive the career night from Karl Anthony Towns, dropping 47. We still won. So anyway, that is the Knicks Home Court, episode number 26. My name is Greg Armstrong. You can go to iTunes under Life Culture Sports, no spaces, You can also go to Knicks Home Court on YouTube, and you can find it on Life Culture Sports on SoundCloud. All right, y'all. Everybody have a good one, and I'll speak to y'all later. Peace.